All right, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Lake Mills City Council meeting for November 16, 2021. Calling this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Curler?
Here.
Mr. Waters?
Here.
Mrs. Bishop?
Here.
Ms. Quidno?
Here.
Mr. Fields?
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can everyone please rise for Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Moving to item 4 on the agenda, correction and or approval of the City Council minutes of November 2nd, 2021. Any correction on that? Can I get a motion for approval?
I move to approve City Council minutes from November 2nd, 2021.
I second.
All right. Motion by Mrs. Bishop, second by Ms. Quidno. All those in favor, please raise your hands. That's a 5-0. Thank you. Some minutes have been approved. Correspondence. Mrs. Bishop, any correspondence?
Yes, I had one in relation to zoning ordinances in housing areas.
Ms. Quidno?
None at this time.
All right. I just saw a letter today that came through for the a recommendation for the Bayberry. So that was all I had. Anything from Mr. Fields?
I just had the one email from Susan with her follow-up questions from the Sandy Beach presentation. That was all I had.
Okay. And I'm blanking. Mrs. Curler. Ms. Curler.
Yeah, just the same, the follow-up email from Susan and the letter regarding the Barry Luce Trust.
Okay. All right. Moving on, this is questions and public comment. Nobody is online, I believe. There's nobody in the chamber. So I don't think anyone's online. PH, who's that? Oh, it's Paul Herman. Hey, Paul. So we'll move past that. City Manager's report. Steve, the floor is open.
I provided the general check register, general fund check register, the general fund monthly voucher, the utility check register, and utility monthly voucher summary, and then the treasurer's reports and the police report, and then the type A notice. Misty, you want to talk about the type A notice?
Sure. The type A notice we published in the paper this week, so I don't have it in front of me. I'm just grabbing it. The type A notice is the notice of the spring election for the city of Lake Mills. The county state, they would do their own. Our notice of spring election is just notifying the public of the April 5th election. District 1 councilperson Steve Fields is the incumbent, his office, as well as District 2 councilperson Michelle Quidno, who is the incumbent. Those are the two positions that will be on the ballot for that election. The notice does talk about the date to begin circulating the nomination papers, which is December 1st. The final date for filing nomination papers, which is January 4th. If there's a primary necessary, that they'll be held on Tuesday, February 15th. Information concerning the district boundaries can be obtained from me or on our website. All the paperwork that would need to be filed for interested parties is on our website as well, or it can be picked up in person. And then just, I gave additional notice again that photo ID is required to vote at the election. So if anybody has questions, they're more than welcome to contact me. My information's on the website as well.
How many signatures are needed for that, Misty?
We are a class 4, so for a citywide, I'm sorry, for district, it's 20 to 40.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions on the city manager's report? Ms. Curler.
Yes, I just had one. I was wondering, Betsy, if you could just elaborate a little bit about the vendor on the general fund register, the local government investment pool vendor, and the $500,000 check for that.
Sure. The check was issued to take the money that was borrowed for TID number 3 and TID number 5 and put that into the fund account for the TIDs. So the borrowed money was put into that account where all of the TID money is kept.
So it's kind of just a transfer of funds, but it shows up as a check, is that right?
Right, right. That's the way that we can move the money to that account is by issuing the check. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Wilkie. Moving to item 8, Councilmember report, board report, and acceptance of minutes from Public Works Board of October 12th, 2021. Mr. Fields, did you have anything to report on that?
Let me see, Public Works Board meeting, I'd say take a look at this last week's meeting. That would probably be the good one. You won't see the minutes until next week, or next month, I'm sorry. But we did have this one where they took option A off, and then last week they voted to take option B off. So you'll see that next week. That would be a good meeting to go back and look at all the debate on where they're going with the wastewater treatment plant.
All right, any questions or comments on the minutes? All right, seeing none, the City Council will accept those minutes to record. Thank you. All right, number 9 on the agenda, council business. The first thing on the agenda is the board/committee appointment for Richard Mason for the Plan Commission. That is an appointment made by the council, by me actually. We had a resignation here in the past couple weeks, so this is a replacement for that. And Mr. Mason is a past school board member and very active in the community. So,
Do we need a motion to confirm your appointment, or?
yes, we do.
All right. Then I will make a motion to confirm the City Council President's appointment of Richard Mason to the Plan Commission.
Is there a second?
I
I'll
second that. Oh. You can have Steve. You can let Steve have that one.
All right. Are you okay with that, Steve?
Absolutely.
Motion by Mrs. Curler, second by Mr. Fields. Any additional comment or question on this? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
Mr. Waters?
Aye.
Mrs. Bishop?
Aye.
Ms. Quidnow?
Aye.
Mr. Fields?
Aye.
Ms. Curler?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is Resolution 21-65, the 2022 Utilities Budget Approval. Misty, can you read that?
Resolution 21-65, resolution declaring official 2022 utilities budget.
All right, thank you. Can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 21-65, declaring the official 2022 utilities budget.
Second.
Motion by Miss Curler, second by Mrs. Bishop. So we're open for some discussion. Is there any feedback from the staff on this issue?
It's consistent with what's in ClearGov. It's not exactly the same, but I just rounded them off. It's a resolution, not an ordinance. It's run as an enterprise, so we don't set a legal requirement on this because at any time someone could come in and make a substantial change. So if this budget actually ends up being what's at the end of the year, I'll be surprised. But that being said, it's generally an idea that the council has an idea of what's being done in the utility over the course of the next year.
Any questions or comment? Ms. Curler?
Well, since Paul joined us, maybe we'll just ask him a question, or Steve could maybe answer this as well. But would this proposed budget result in rate increases for any of the three utilities?
This budget will not. But the water utility is on schedule for a rate increase for the next year. So probably sometime in the next 3 to 4 months, you'll see a rate study start to come through. I don't think electric will see any for another year, but I'm not going to guarantee on wastewater. We generally let our financial consultants give us a review and make a recommendation. I know that they'll be on the water one.
Thank you.
I'll just add real quickly and more specifically, we did do a cost of service study for the electric utility that was just completed in November. It showed that we probably could look at a small rate increase. It was something around 4%, but there's no value in doing that right now. So I'm sure we'll review that again next year. And we'll be doing the same thing right after the first of the year with the water utility.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Paul and Steve, just curious, and maybe I don't know or haven't picked up on something, but with the rate increase, with the water or the water rate increase happening, and as well as the water treatment plant, how does that combined? How will that impact our citizens in terms of costs?
Generally, what we see is the rate study will come in and make a recommendation on how much it should go up. And that's a combination of operating costs and new capital infrastructure costs, generally in our case related to debt. The water utility will probably see between a 4 and a 7% increase. I don't know what the wastewater utility will look at yet. Probably 3 to 4. And we may let that slide another year just to wait and see what happens with the facilities report. But it historically is a situation where the Public Service Commission would rather have you do 3% per year than come in like we have historically, where we go like 3 or 4 years without one and then do like a 10%.
Yeah, that would be a very unfortunate situation. So my question is more about knowing that there's going to be an increase. Is there a possibility of a gradual, not so much a gradual increase, but I guess it would be a gradual increase over the course of time to supplement whatever monies are needed, instead of making any grand changes to the way that citizens are impacted by that. I mean, I'm for the wastewater treatment plant situation. I just wanted to understand how that's going to financially impact everyone.
It will probably be every bit as grand as it was in 1989, which was a shock to everybody.
Uh-huh.
The water one probably not as substantially. Our water rates have historically been low, and they've only started moving up in the last couple of years, and we've instituted a lot of capital improvements. I think the benchmarking study I just saw come through that Paul had sent out is that our operations costs are pretty low in water, but our capital costs are pretty high. So that's probably what'll be the single largest impact on our long-term water rates is how much we keep up on the capital costs.
Okay.
Sewer is obviously very similar. The rates, in '89 got set really high, and so we went a long time without having to change the rates because the cost on the wastewater treatment plant dropped off. Our lump, we kind of ate our lump, but it's coming back around now. The sewer is very similar to the water in that a lot of the infrastructure is 70 to 110 years old and in severe need of replacement. So you're going to have to keep up with it, and the best time to do it is when you redo the streets because it covers most of the long-term, spreads out the long-term costs.
Okay.
If I may, could I just add very quickly? There's two very different situations here. In water, we have to go to the Public Service Commission to get final approval. They do not allow banking money. In other words, you can't set a rate now to spend later. That's a big no-no with them. But sewer is very different in that there is no real government. Nope, let me back up. I don't want to say it that way. There is an oversight for the rates of the sewer department, but there isn't one like the DNR or the PSC or something like that. So the rates are exclusively up to you. And I believe in that case, there is the potential for banking some dollars. But again, we have to be very careful about how much we do with that. That will be certainly a big part of the discussion, I believe, at the December 7th meeting when we go into more detail about the treatment plant. But I understand your question, and you're probably more interested in the sewer plant because that's a big price tag. But to lump water and sewer together, they're actually not apples to apples.
Okay. To me, they are, but that's because I'm naive to the whole situation. So I appreciate you breaking that down for me and helping me understand a little bit more. And I probably will be in touch with you to talk a little bit more, if that's okay, Paul.
Absolutely. This is like I say, it's a big dollar item. It's a big deal. So it's gonna require good critical thinking there.
Okay.
Paul, on a related topic, I know you're pretty close to the power side of things. And with the talk about inflation and what we're seeing in the news about energy prices, is there anything on the horizon for rate increases on that side of the balance sheet?
You're not holding me to this, right? This isn't being recorded. No, I'm just kidding.
It's on the record.
Yeah. What the word we're getting from WPPI Energy, our supplier, is that they have positioned themselves very well, and they're not anticipating more than 2 or 3% increase in the wholesale charge. And there's a lot of reasons, and maybe some future meeting we can go into that, but it has to do with how they've dispersed or diversified their energy portfolio. What's going to happen with local costs is a little harder to say, but I think we're positioned fairly well there also. So I wouldn't see or anticipate a large increase, but similar to what we're talking about in water and wastewater, smaller, more often increases are probably a better strategy than wait, and then hit with a big one. But as I mentioned, we're going to be doing cost of service studies more often. Typically, we do those maybe every 5 to 6 years. I anticipate we'll do those every other year just to make sure that we are keeping pace.
Okay, thank you. That was a better than expected answer, I guess, so thanks. Any other questions? All right. Did you have any, Mr. Fields? I know I'm not looking at the screen enough. If you have anything, just speak up. So,
Will do.
all right. Seeing none, can we move forward with the roll call vote?
Mrs. Bishop,
Aye.
Ms. Quidnow,
Aye.
Mr. Fields,
Aye.
Ms. Curler,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
Thank you. All right, moving forward for recommendations for future agenda. We did have an agenda item for reviewing the city policy for the for outside organizations using the city meeting room, and that's on a future agenda. So that should be covered hopefully before year end next month. So, any other items? All right. So we're about to convey into a closed session. I just want to state that when we will not be coming back on video after we reconvene after the closed session. So this will be the end of our recording tonight, but it will be on record when that meeting does adjourn. So moving forward, we are convening into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Section 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction. So can I have a motion to move into closed session?
I would like to move into closed session.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Quidnow, second by Mrs. Bishop. All those in favor, raise your hand, signifying a yes vote. That's 5-0. So we are convening into closed session. Thank you.